Hi and welcome or welcome back to the Books Are Everywhere. Welcome to the most exciting time of the year. It is time for mine and Courtney's reading holiday. I would say annual, it's kind of biannual, but last year we didn't do it because we didn't do it in summer because Courtney got married instead. Very selfish of her. But we are back with our winter holiday. We did this last year, we did the January holiday as normal, and it is honestly just such a great way to start the year because when you've got those January blues, you've got something to look forward to. It is 4 days of us just relaxing, reading. We have found the perfect Airbnb that we've gone back to year after year now. I think this is our 3rd year there. And it just has everything you would want for like a winter reading holiday. It has a massive like king size bed, very cozy sofa, beautiful landscape outside, and like if it's frosty it's just beautiful there, an amazing view, really warm, amazing shower, massive like roll top bath, not roll top but you know, like a freestanding bath in the bedroom. It's beautiful, honestly. If you've been around, you've probably seen like videos of it before. If not, you are about to. And it is incredible. And we just don't really leave for like 4 days. We do tend to go for a walk because there's a local church that's literally like a field away. We do try and drag ourselves out for a walk to go to the church and go and see the lake, which we can glimpse from where we're staying, but we can't like see it properly. So we do try and like glimpse the lake. And kind of walk down there, but other than that we go nowhere for 4 days. The sad part of this year is that the cafe we usually go to on the way, which is like a highlight of the trip, has closed, which is really sad. They did these amazing winter vegetable sandwiches that came with gravy dipping pots that was just incredible, but sadly we're gonna have to find somewhere else to stop this year, which is a shame, but I do think it gives the potential for me to go back to the bookshop I used to work at on the way, which is very nice, and I actually have a book that I need to pick up from there. So I thought I would just introduce the video because I think normally I'm not this organised and I end up introducing it while we're there and it's a little chaotic. I thought I would introduce it and also show you the books that I'm planning on taking with me. I've just started packing. It's the day before, like we're going tomorrow, and I packed the books yesterday. We've been thinking about the books for a long time, as you can imagine, and then I started actually packing like clothes and stuff this morning, but you know, it doesn't take long to pack for a few days. But we have a list of stuff that we're going to read together. We've done holidays I think where we've pretty much buddy read everything, and we've done holidays where we've pretty much buddy read nothing, like just 1 or 2 things. The past few years I think we've done a mix, and that's what we're doing this year, and it really works for us. So we have maybe like 4 or 5 books that we're going to buddy read, but a lot of them are really short, or a couple of them are really short books, and then we have some that we're not. I was packing yesterday and I have no idea what I want to read, so I've kind of packed a selection. There's quite a lot, but I never plan on reading everything I take. It's probably very overly ambitious if I do. But I just want to have like a selection because we're there for a few days and we read a lot. You want to have kind of like a variation. So I'm going to go through everything I have packed and tell you like whether it's a buddy read or not, basically. So the first few I have are buddy reads. The first one being Agency for Scandal by Laura Wood. We have read a Laura Wood book on most of our reading holidays and just always find that they really work for us. There's just something so addictive about her writing. Even if you're daunted, and like this one it's like 400 pages, we just end up being utterly consumed by the book. This is 500 pages. But we know that Laura Wood's writing will just grab us and not let us go. And we have buddy read Laura Wood books like 400 pages in one afternoon. Like, I know that we're going to really be gripped by this. We just always are with her writing. This is a YA, I think, mystery, but I imagine there'll be some romance in here. And it's the start of a series actually, which is different for us, but this has been on my shelf for ages. We've both been wanting to read it for ages, and I think we've run out of YA standalones by Laura Wood. So this is the next one on our list. We also have Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz, which I bought Courtney as her Christmas Eve book, and I bought a copy for myself because it sounds great. It's only short. It's a sci-fi novella that's 150-ish pages, and it's been a liken to like Becky Chambers, Martha Wells, like Monk and Robot vibes. Very excited for this, and my friend recommended it as well. And last but not least, we have Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber, which came out last year. Neither of us have read this yet. We did actually try and we buddy read is it Spectacular, the Caraval novella last year. We thought that'd be a perfect cozy winter book to read, and it kind of fell flat because that book is not cozy and cute, guys. It's not. Go and watch the video from last year if you want to find out more information, but I'm hoping this one is going to be more cozy. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. We do also have another, I'm just looking at the size of the text, but it's like 300 pages, so that's not bad. I have the book to pick up from the shop I used to work at tomorrow, which is To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers, which is another sci-fi novella, which Courtney had on her list, and I was like, oh, there was a couple I could join her in, and that's the one I picked to join her with. That's also like quite a short novella, so that would be a really good one to pick up, and we both love the Monk and Robot books as well. Then I have my own books. I picked up a random selection. Help Wanted, which I think is a thriller, but I'm not sure. It's about night shifts in a shop, and I thought that would be interesting. Then I have The Honeys by Ryan Sala, which I think is also a thriller but YA. I have The Chosen and the Beautiful, which is also, I think, YA. It's fantasy. I think a fantasy retelling of Gatsby, I think. It might not be fantasy, I'm not 100% sure. Basically, short and quick is what I'm going for here. Then we have Check and Mate by Hazelwood, which is it's a YA romance by Hazelwood. I haven't read Hazelwood in a while, but I know her writing is really addictive for me, and I thought a YA one would be a good shout. And then last but not least, we have Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch by Julie Abe. This is a middle grade fantasy, and it's been on my shelves for ages, and it's not the shortest, but it's middle grade, and you know, the text is really big, so I usually try and just bring like a middle grade or something a bit younger that I know I will get through really quickly. So that's kind of my random selection that I pulled off the shelves. I don't know if I'll change it before we go or add to it. I'll probably take my Kindle just as like a backup as well. But so far, that's what we have. So anyway, I'm gonna go because I think my friend maybe just got here. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go. And I'll see you on holiday. Hello and welcome to day 2 of being here, full day 1 of being here, but we only have like 2 full days because we got here yesterday on Saturday and we leave on Tuesday, so we have like 3 nights, 4 days, 2 full days, if that makes sense. But anyway, we had like a slightly more stressful day 1, I guess, than normal. It was just a chaotic day for things going on in life. And I think we ended up a bit behind on our kind of schedule. I ended up bumping into a friend, which was absolutely lovely, who I didn't expect to see. And yeah, we just ended up like slightly behind on things, got here maybe a little bit later than planned. And then we didn't have heating or hot water, which was just like a simple fix. Where like the boiler had tripped out basically, but we obviously had to kind of let the owners know about that. But it was just a simple thing, but it kind of stressed us both out a little bit because we were like, what if this is a problem like that can't be fixed, like what happens then? So we couldn't like relax until that had been sorted, and then we had to like wait for the water to heat before having showers and stuff, so we couldn't settle as early as we wanted to. But very happy to be here, and everything, like, obviously as normal, we cannot fault this Airbnb, like, and the owner is so lovely, like the third year being here, and it's just so nice to be back. But anyway, I am here to give you a quick reading update more than anything else. We have finished 2 books. It is going towards the end of day 2, like it's the evening now, we're all about to have dinner, settle in for the evening. I say settle in for the evening like we haven't been here the whole time and not left the confines of this property since yesterday when we got here. But anyway, we did want to start reading last night, so we did read Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz. This is my first time coming across Annalee Newitz's work, which I'm really excited about because I am hoping to read more from this author. This book is actually the book I bought for Courtney for Christmas Eve. I think I might have said that in my first update on this vlog. But yeah, I also bought myself a copy and we buddy read it. This is a like near future, cozy, but not that cozy, novella about robots opening their own noodle shop. It's San Francisco. It's post-war, like kind of post-dystopia, but we're still in kind of like a bit dystopia, like we're kind of coming away from robots being under like control basically, and they're becoming more of a part of society, and we see that through the robots in this book and the noodle shop in this book. I think going into this it was a little more complicated than I expected, I guess, just learning about all of these robots and the systems that we have in this world. And although it's obviously set in like the real world in like 40 years time, there is just like quite a complex system around the robots, and I think learning about the kind of abbreviations that they use, the language that they use, maybe meant that we were not quite into this story as early as we wanted, so it maybe took kind of a half of the story to get into it, but by the end I think we both really enjoyed this. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think if I'd have had the same feeling about the first half as I did for the second half when I was like really into it and understood what was going on, then I would have given it a 5-star. It was really, really enjoyable, and I actually quite liked that the whole thing wasn't cozy. Like obviously the concept is cozy, the noodle shop's cozy, like things like that. I found it personally like a cozy read, but I know that other people have said like there's too much discussion of kind of war and these harsh things that are happening in this world for it to be cozy, and I do understand where people are coming from. Like for me, it didn't impact my experience. I thought it was quite well written. The fact that we could see what was happening and what had happened in this world through the lens of these characters, I thought was really interesting, really well done, and I really loved the found family atmosphere of this. It's recommended for people who like Murderbot, Martha Wells, Becky Chambers. Like it's a less utopian Monk and Robot, I would say, but I loved the description of food. This made us both want to have biang biang noodles. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I will put a picture on the screen to say what the noodles are, but I can see how the cover came about. The cover is amazing, but it made us both want to try those noodles. But anyway, this one was a great one to start with. I think it took us a little longer to read than we expected, just because you can't fall into the world like as easy as we wanted to. But it's about 160 pages, so we finished this one yesterday evening, but by the time we finished it, we did kind of just go to bed and watch like TV for a bit. And then today we actually woke up like later than planned, got up later than planned, or later than we kind of would want to, but I think it's really nice that we both felt like we just had the time to sleep and rest, so it's all good. We're not just here for the reading, you know, we are here to have like a break away from life and work and rest, and we also have, like last year we actually made this into like a reading in Stardew Valley thing where we just played Stardew all of the evenings. This year we're doing it slightly different, which I will show you in a sec what our plans are for the evenings. I say evenings, sadly we only have this like tonight and tomorrow night left. But anyway, the next book that we read, which we picked up late this morning, and we have not long finished, is The Agency for Scandal by Laura Wood. We have read Laura Wood books a lot on our reading holidays, including here. Maybe not last year, but definitely the year before. I don't think we read one last year. I bought this with me last year, so I don't think we read it, but I bought it with me with the intent that maybe we would buddy read it last year. But we have now buddy read it. This is a YA romance set in the late 1800s, but our main character Isabel, who is in love with a duke that she thinks doesn't know that she exists, but she also has a job at the Avery, which is an investigative agency run by women that specialises in blackmailing powerful men. But her secret crush becomes embroiled in her most dangerous case yet, and the two end up working together to uncover a scandal. I looked at the synopsis, not because I don't know what's gone on in the book that I've literally just read, although that wouldn't be a shock, but because I didn't read the synopsis before going into the book, so I didn't know how much to tell you guys without like spoiling it. But we both enjoyed this. I think we both didn't really like the romantic interest as much as we have in other Laura Wood books. I think Under a Dancing Star remains our favourite for both of us, I would say. Our favourite Laura Wood book, and we also have really enjoyed A Snowfall of Silver, A Single Thread of Moonlight, A Sky Painted Gold. Like all of her romance books we found really enthralling, enjoyable. Laura Wood has this writing that often we get so encompassed in that it's one of those books that when you start reading you just lose all sense of the real world and you feel like you're sucked into the pages. And I think with this one we both didn't feel the atmosphere quite so much as others, and also found that like the romantic interest, as I said, like we didn't fall for him like the main character had. And I think the way that she was crushing so hard in this character and the way they fell in love without really having spent that much time together made this maybe feel a little bit younger than other Laura Wood books that we've read. So I still really liked this. It's also a thick book, it's over 500 pages, and we have read it in one sitting with like just a break for lunch. But I think that goes to show that like we were still obviously quite compelled, and we both liked the concept of this with the women running this like investigative agency. All of the characters were really well rounded, well written, and we liked that there was like the intrigue behind it because of the scandals that were happening in this world. But yeah, so much to still enjoy, but just not one of our favourites, I would say. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Courtney I think 3.5 out of 5. Automatic Noodle, I don't know if Courtney gave this a 4 or 4.5. As I said, I gave it a 4.5. But anyway, that was like our biggest that we've brought with us. So, and we've done it now, which is cool. Tonight we are about to have dinner, and then we're not sure whether to try and read a volume of manga. So we have the Sunspot volume. It's 4 Seasons volume 3, which I think is volume 7 overall, maybe? Yeah, because I think there's 3, 2, and I honestly can't remember. I'm not 100% sure what volume this is like overall in the series. But this manga series, it's been kind of likened to Heartstopper, like it's a manga Heartstopper, following these two main characters. So Kohei has severe hearing loss and he's deaf, and he's in college, and then Teichi becomes his kind of translator. I can't remember what his like title is, and this is following them much later because this is, as I said, it's like the 6th or 7th volume or something. But yeah, we've read these. I think Courtney got me onto these, and we've read all of them. This one came out in the UK last year, and neither of us had read it, so I picked them up for us because it's just nice to have like something easy to break up reading novels. So I think we're going to try and read this evening, and then we also have some board games to play, which is what I was going to tell you about in terms of that is what we are going to be doing in the evenings. I have the Stardew Valley board game, so we're continuing that trend. And then we also have like Scrabble, Monopoly Deal, and another board game of mine, which is Tree Lined Avenue, which takes nowhere near as long as playing Stardew, which takes like 2 to 3 hours whenever I've played it. So I think we'll probably try and play that this evening. Maybe read this, we will see, but we have a dinner to eat first. And then we have a couple of books that we will want to read tomorrow, so we will see how that goes. And we need to get out on our one walk of the trip as well tomorrow. It's rained a lot today, which has been a very nice atmosphere. But anyway, I'm gonna get dinner on. Hi everyone and welcome to the end of the vlog. Very sadly I am back home and we are no longer on our blissful reading holiday, which I'm obviously gutted about, being back in the real world, going to work and doing boring things like that. But as always we had such a lovely time and I need to come on wrap up this vlog. I know I only updated you like once while we were there. I'm not mad about it. I'm sorry if you guys are mad about it. But honestly I did consider not vlogging this holiday just because I did not want it to feel like a chore while we're away and have like something else to have to do while we're away. This holiday is so much about us being able to relax, especially after like a busy Christmas period. It falls at a really nice time of year when you've got like January blues and it's something for us to look forward to. It just all works out so well, and it's become so much about us like spending time together, relaxing and recovering, than anything feeling like a chore. So it did cross my mind not to do it. I did do it and I'm glad that I did, and it's just nice to have like the memory of when we go there every year. That was our 3rd year staying, so, and we're obviously already excited to go back next year. Overall we read I think less than we have in previous years. I remember one year reading an insane amount, but a lot of it was graphic novels and shorter stuff. I think in the past I focused much more on like shorter and graphic novels in order to just like build my stats up, but like strategically, and also get a head start on the year. But this year I think I have a lot less of that on my TBR, so I have a lot less to choose from in terms of like graphic novels and stuff. And also we actually buddy read a lot. Like, there was only one thing I think that we didn't buddy read, which was the books that we started at the very end, on like the last day, the last like afternoon, evening. So we buddy read everything, and it was really nice as well. So I think the last time I spoke to you was on the Sunday night, so we had read for the first kind of full day. We did Automatic Noodle, which I talked to you about. We did An Agency for Scandal, which I talked to you about, or The Agency for Scandal. And we were just about to read I Hear the Sunspot by Yuki Fumino, the 4 Seasons Volume 3, which I think is Volume 8. I remember I was deliberating that in the last clip. But yeah, we read this over the evening and then into the next day, like finished it off the next morning, read like half of it that evening and half of it the next day. We both enjoyed this. I think I remember not enjoying this one as much as I did the last volume. Like Courtney mentioned, I think it'd be really good to read these back to back, because it is quite difficult to remember what's going on with these characters when you haven't picked them up in so long. The last time I read a volume, I think, was on our winter reading retreat last year, so it's obviously been a year. And when you're not reading them back to back, there's actually quite a lot of like side characters and stuff. And I think it was quite difficult to figure out what was happening, but definitely having both of us reading this helped with both of us trying to remember like what had happened in the last volumes. At least we could kind of brainstorm and try and figure it out together. But yeah, did enjoy this. I like the themes that this graphic novel tries to tackle, the fact that we have the kind of workplace environment, and actually kind of a toxic workplace environment for, or could be a toxic work environment for people with disabilities. It's dealt with in such a interesting way. We had some very interesting characters in here. I've seen a lot of reviews saying they don't see enough romance in this, don't see enough of the boys, and I would agree with that. Like, it would be really nice to have some more of the boys, but I think the plan from reading the author's note in this is that the next volume will have a lot more romance in it, which I'm hoping for, because it is nice obviously seeing the fact that this manga has more to it than just the boy love aspect. But it's just like this is a romance manga at the end of the day, and it would be nice to see more of them. So I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. As we both said as well, like there's a bit at the end of this which is like a bonus scene, like a bonus chapter, which 100% is just the most like the cutest bit, and it's you see the boys together, which is really nice. So yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions on that one. 3.5 stars for that one. Then we read what turned out to be a 5-star read for both of us, which is To Be Short If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. We are both big fans of the Monk and Robot series, the Psalm for the Wild Book series, and this was one that Courtney wanted to read on this holiday, so I ended up picking a copy up so I could buddy read it with her. This is quite short, it's only about 130 pages, although I have to say it took me at least longer than I expected to read. There's just a lot, like there's a lot of text, it's very small, the margins are quite small. It feels like, especially after reading manga, like full walls of text in here, and it did feel a little bit daunting in that aspect. Also, it is broken up into chapters, but there's only like 3 or 4, so they go up to like 50 pages long. So it definitely felt daunting in that aspect, and I think it took us longer than we thought it would take us. But we both absolutely loved this. It is about 4 astronauts. It is the turn of the 22nd century, so it's like 21 something, and there's a breakthrough in human spaceflight, and basically these 4 astronauts are travelling quite far away from Earth, and they go in and out of kind of what's it called, torpor sleep, like when they're like not really, they're like not alive, they're in like a state of just traveling, and they only age like 2 years in every however many years it is, 5 years maybe or more. We're following Ariadne mainly as a main character, but we're also following obviously the 3 other crewmates, and they're kind of dealing with the fact that obviously any problems that they have, and also any communication with Earth that they have as well. And yeah, this was heavy, it was deep, it was quite emotional, reflective, I think one of the reviews says somewhere, and it was definitely reflective. I would say 100% reflective is a very good way of describing it. And just using this as a transportation device, I guess, to carry, to talk about humans and everything that comes with being human, but in this really grand, sweeping atmosphere of space. I don't know, it's just the atmosphere in this book is like, Becky Chambers' writing is just so impressive. There are things that happen in here that make you genuinely feel unsettled and make your skin crawl, and I just don't know how she manages to achieve that. It is crazy how she manages to achieve it. It just makes you feel like everything that they're feeling, that the crewmates are feeling, and she has such a skill in doing that with her writing, and that's obviously why we both loved it so much and gave it 5 out of 5 stars, both of us did, because it's just crazy how she manages to achieve, like, you feel like you're actually there and going through these things with them. So yeah, it was a good one to end on, not quite, but kind of, because it was Monday evening. We had to check out on Tuesday morning, so we didn't have that much time left. And we decided at this point that one of the things we, as I said before, we obviously wanted to do on this holiday was play board games as well. We managed to play the Stardew board game the night before, but we had a really, really bad bout of luck. So if you've played the Stardew board game, it is, or if you haven't, like, it is based on the game Stardew Valley, and it's 100% basically the course of the game, but in board game format. I think it is an incredibly intricate and impressive game, and I absolutely love the way it's been constructed, and I think it's just incredible and really impressive, and I've played it quite a lot now with different people, and I love how you can adapt playing it from anywhere between like 1 person to, I think 4 people is the maximum of people you can play with because of the way the different roles are, I would say. I don't know if there's a way to adapt it for more people, but anyway, we played the night before and we got the most horrendous luck, and so much of it is based around luck, really. I think I said to Courtney before we played that you either get quite close and you win, or you get quite close and you lose, and I think over the course of the 2 nights we played it, we disproved me saying that completely. Like, on the first night, we did not get close to winning. Like, I guess we kind of got close by the end, but it felt like we were still so far away. So by the second night, I really wanted to prove that we could do it and that it wasn't all that deflating and frustrating to play. So we both wanted to play it again and see if we could do better. We also had a couple of other things we wanted to play. Courtney had Monopoly Deal, which is like a short card game version of Monopoly. So I read the instructions for that, we watched some videos on how to play it, and we played Monopoly Deal for a little bit while dinner was cooking. Then we played Tree Lined Avenue, which is another little card game that I really like. I say cards, it's got little kind of board cards in it. The idea of it is that and some cards with trees on. The idea of Tree Lined Avenue is it's a small box card game that you play with 2 people. I don't know if you can play with 2 or 4, I think, or between 2 and 4, I think. I've only ever played it with 2, and you are trying to beat each other to build a avenue of trees, or like a park that has the most environmental impact. It has the most obviously it changes every time you play it, so depending on what card you get and stuff, but there's different things that you have to achieve. So we played that as well as one of the things we wanted to play, and Courtney won. We did 2 rounds of Monopoly Deal. I won 1, Courtney won 1, so that worked quite well. And then we played Stardew again, and that was the decision we made, was basically to stop reading earlier than maybe normally we would, and have a whole proper evening just playing games together, because that's one of the things we really wanted to do. So we had another evening playing Stardew, and we did insanely well. It was crazy, we were so far ahead. We actually managed to do everything really far ahead of winning, which is just, it was such a bout of luck again. It was crazy, but yeah, we had such fun playing that. It's such a great game, and I'm really glad that we played it again and we won, so that Courtney could see like you can do it. And it's also really nice because it's a co-op game and you play to beat the game, and that's the really cool thing about it. So yeah, we really enjoyed that. We did also read a little bit extra in that evening. Courtney had a bath, so she read a bit of her graphic novel while she was in the bath, and I started reading my last book, which was The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nghi. I am actually still reading this, so this is just a dust jacket. This is a reinterpretation of Gatsby. It's kind of fantasy, but it's still very much set in the real world 1920s society. It's following Jordan Baker, who is a friend of Daisy Buchanan. All of the characters are the same, and I think if you didn't know the story of Gatsby, this could be quite confusing because it really just throws you into the deep end of this story. So Jordan is an immigrant, a socialite, a magician, apparently it says. She's queer and Asian. She's a Vietnamese adoptee who is treated as an exotic attraction by her peers. And finds a lot of doors remain closed to her. So she's kind of in this this world of being with Gatsby, with Daisy, with all of these characters in this obviously 1920s wealth, jazz age surroundings. And yeah, it's really interesting. There's also like, there is a little bit of fantasy in here. I'm finding it very slow, I must say. It's only 260 pages. The reason I went to read this one after all of my others, the body reads we did, is because I realised I took it with me last year and didn't read it because it's one of the shortest books I own now and haven't read. So I took it with me last year and read it, and I still didn't read it, so I was like, this is the one. Courtney was like, if you read any, you have to read that one because you bought it last year. So I did, I started, and I'm still reading it. I did consider carrying on this vlog until I'm finished, but I think I need to wrap it up now. Like, we've come back, you know, it's been a few days, and that's what I want to show you, not like the stuff I'm reading afterwards. So far, like, I think I'm over halfway now. I've got like 100 pages to go. I'm gonna say this will probably be like a 3 or 3.5 star for me, maybe 3.5. The atmosphere is great, the writing's quite good. I don't think the like characters are that likeable in Gatsby, but we have a different kind of focus of the story, obviously. But yeah, I just think it's very slow for me and not really grabbing my attention in the way that I want it to. But I can recognise that it's very good, if that makes sense, which is probably how I feel about Gatsby. So I don't know, maybe I shouldn't really have picked this up in the first place, but oh well. It's an interesting read. Anyway, I am going to go. I need to go to work, so I'm going to go now. But I hope you enjoyed this vlog and coming with me and Courtney on our little reading retreat, which we will definitely be having another one soon. If not, halfway through the year we'll do our winter one next year, and we'll see you then. But yeah, thank you very much for joining, and I will see you in another video. Bye.